Good evening, ladies and germs. How are we today? Welcome to Hellbent Live. Let us know in the chat that you can see us, you can hear us, and we will start bang-a-ranging on this episode. Joseph, good to see you. Thank you, Tristan Myers, 5x5. Very good. Welcome to our weekly live stream, Hellbent Live. My name is Jesse Doyle. This is my frenemy, enemy, lover,
straighten my hat,
and partner, Joseph Doyle. We're so glad to have you here today on this Tuesday, another special Tuesday edition. It seems these Mondays are a little tricky from time to time. But
yeah, we were going to go last night, and then a bunch of people were like, I won't catch the show. I'm traveling. And then I was like, just do the show on Tuesday.
Do it Tuesday.
The backup day.
And also, you know, a lot of people can't come and join us until Tuesday anyway. So it's cool to kind of mix it up and do
It's not our usual night, so the chat won't be as crazy tonight. So
well, that just set us up for failure.
That just set us up for failure.
That also gave us time yesterday, since we didn't have to rush back and come and do the show and set up the show and everything. Give us time to go out to a nature preserve and test out the new camera that we got. We have been looking to get a new camera for a while. We've been running on the same type of camera for a bit here. Everything we've filmed up until this point, starting about 2 years ago, was on the same camera, same type of cameras. So after the Uwari doc, we really wanted to get something that was a little more advanced. Professional. So we are upping the game, and that's what we do. With anything that we get from the channel, we just pour it right back into the channel to increase our output, increase our quality, so that you get high quality cryptidtainment. But yeah, we're excited to get this new camera. The picture quality is amazing. It's got it looks cinematic. It looks amazing because we have several documentaries that we are in the planning stages on right now. And when I say several full-length documentaries, we're talking 5.
Yep.
5 full-length feature documentaries that we are working on the opening stages for right now. Are you still looking for somebody in Indiana, Joseph?
I am looking for somebody in Indiana.
All right, so that's down there.
Okay, so got it. Oki was asked somebody else was buffering. And since he was kind enough to throw a 10 spot our way as the show started off, Oki, I figured we'd ask. Mine looks like my test video that I watched looks like it's doing okay. So
you never know.
Followed by the sign of the chop.
The sign of
the chop.
Yeah, so we are in the planning stages right now, research and development on 5 feature-length documentaries. We'll also be continuing on with our regular investigations. So the season is going to be awesome. We got a kind of a preliminary weather report about this particular area, and it looks pretty good.
Whole region that we're in, that we usually investigate in, is in for a slightly warmer than usual, but not much, but much drier winter, which is just going to be,
that's what we're hoping for,
phenomenal for us.
Yeah.
Where did you say somebody was with Indiana? Did you mark that?
No, I have it scrolling at the bottom of the page there for people to get in touch with us if they have any sort of Indiana.
Oh, I thought you said somebody was in the comments.
No, sir.
Okay.
It's all right, Joe. You'll catch up.
Patty G says, I've decided that this is live and Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch I'm recording. How does it feel to be more important than Skinwalker Ranch? Patty, one of the things I've always said about you that I like about you
is that you keep us humble.
That your priorities are straight. We appreciate that. We always have said that about you. So anyway. So yes,
Kurt Ruderdahl, thank you, sir.
We appreciate it.
Yes,
thank you
absolutely.
so much. Thank you so much. Richard followed up with documentaries. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. So what we're going to be doing for the investigation season has officially kicked off. It's still a damn jungle down in this region. It was kind of hot today, but we turned the corner now. So basically at this point, every week is going to get more conducive to what we do. less insect noise. It'll be cooler, so the thermals will work better. So every week is going to be better than the one before it for the most part. So we learned a lot of valuable lessons on major like presentation doing the Small Town Monsters doc that we are going to be putting to good use. So we have done some real big signature investigations in the past, but now what we're going to do is we're ramping it up a level.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to really give you all honest, real field investigations, but with the level of like presentation that they deserve at this point.
That we've always dreamed
that
of.
we've been working towards. So we learned a lot of lessons. So the goal is to still keep up the regular field investigations that we've always done. You'll still see those, but pepper those in with larger projects every so often.
Yeah.
Try to grow and expand the scope of what we do there. And what's cool is when we went in to do Monster on Morris Mountain, is Monster on Morris Mountain or of Morris Mountain? I was in the damn thing. I don't even know what the exact title is. On of something. So
a lot of people got that kind of mixed up. That's okay.
But the Morris Mountain Monster is what we should call it. Anyway.
Well, it's over with now.
So a lot of the things that we'd kind of like learned over the years of doing this, how to like change on the fly, how to adapt what we do in order to try to document evidence. And I think that's why we've had a real good track record in documenting some of the weird stuff that we've encountered, because we don't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We are constantly adapting and evolving and trying to like chase after this stuff to try to capture it. And that really came into play with how we adapted to kind of catch those vocalizations next to Morris Mountain Campground. So
it's that ability to kind of adapt and evolve everything we do and constantly think a couple steps ahead or try to get ahead.
I'm going to start doing those weird like TikTok and Instagram reel hand gestures that they all do.
What is that? What do you mean?
Know. They do the weird thing where they kind of, I don't know. But
are you like voguing?
Voguing. So what was cool is what we learned up until the documentary really helped us with the documentary. What we learned doing the documentary is now going to help us now. You can experience anything in the world, but unless you can document it, it's just another story to be told and dismissed by people. So the goal is we're after the evidence. We're after that smoking gun. We want to try to move the needle. And now I think we're going into this fall really well freaking set up. There's a few things that we need to kind of like do still to kind of with like our loadout, but we're in a pretty good spot right now. We're in a pretty good spot. And I think that we're in the planning stages of like kind of laying the foundations for some stuff right now. But so you're going to have a lot of the places that we've been investigating, but you're going to have some like bigger, bolder stuff on top of that as well. Don't ever rest on your laurels. Always kind of be going forward, always change and adapt and kind of go to, because these phenomena adapt as well. They're adaptive. And that's why they're so hard to document or prove.
I just don't think you're not going to make any headway just repeating the same thing over and over again. I think you have to constantly try to catch up, try to catch up with that.
Oh, look,
who is this?
It's MK Ultra Hikes, star of the #1 international smash hit.
Ah, yes.
The monster that lives on Morris Mountain. I'm going to give it a slightly different title every time we do it now. Had some great time at the Uwharrie Bigfoot Fest, and the crowd loved the documentary. If I could connect some rumors about me that are swirling, it was actually 3 people.
Correct some rumors.
If I could correct some rumors about me that are swirling, it was actually 3 beautiful women that I stayed at a local motor lodge. MK Ultra was belle of the ball at the Uwharrie Bigfoot Festival. He, I guess, made a big splash there. Big splash.
And this was the first annual Uwharrie Bigfoot Festival, and they had an insane amount of attendees. It was insanely busy. MK Ultra was there all weekend, watching the festivities and everything. We thought about going, but that is a very long trek, and we are knee deep in a lot of work right now, so we couldn't make our way out there. But I hope that everybody went and had a blast. It's really cool to see that these regional festivals and conferences are really gaining steam, especially in these areas that have been overlooked for a long time when it comes to Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bobo, thank you so much for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Bobo.
Bobo, you the man. Couple other quick things here to hit as we get on there. Our buddy Corbin, member for 16 months. We appreciate it. Indiana Prepper. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. So,
Half Inch Wrench is here, I believe.
Hey, Half Inch Wrench, what's up, my man? If you guys have not watched his channel, check it out. It's a damn good channel. Damn good channel. So yeah, we're like jazzed. We're like really rearing at the bit.
Really like how the new camera looks. It looks the image that it gives, the quality of it. It's gonna be awesome. Twice as heavy.
It's twice as heavy. I got to figure out I got to learn some new muscle memory there. But
everybody's asking about what's the deal with Indiana. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way. There is a project that is happening where they're looking for witnesses in Indiana. We're just trying to help out.
Yeah.
So
there's a project going on that some associates of ours are doing, and they are looking for people in Indiana. So if you are a Bigfoot researcher in Indiana, or you have had a crazy experience with Bigfoot in Indiana, reach out.
Give us a holler.
Reach out to your boy.
We're just trying to do some connecting and connecting up.
We're trying to give back to the community because that's the sort of people that we are.
Why do you do it, baby Billy?
Because I'm selfless.
That's why.
How's everything with you guys? Been following your channel. Love your content. Thank you so much.
Way of the Splute says your adaptability is what keeps your investigations fresh and exciting. Speaking of fresh and exciting, Joe and I
That's a good segue there. Wow. Okay.
Joe and I settled on what we are doing for the fall equinox. As you know, the fall equinox is fast approaching. We're already in September, and so the fall equinox will be on September 22nd, which is a Monday, but it's going to be kind of a cuspy time. That Sunday night before the Monday show, the Sunday night, we're doing a live investigation. We're going to do a live, publicly available investigation the Sunday before the Monday. So on September 21st, we will have a live investigation, which will be a follow-up to one of our more controversial and exciting investigations we've done in the past.
Spookier investigations.
Spooky. It's going to be a bit spooky. We're going to take advantage of that liminal time. Speaking of liminal time, we're going to get into that a little bit later and talk about how that affects Dogman and how that relates to Dogman. But we're going to take advantage of that liminal time of the fall equinox and see if we can make some contact with something or someone on the other side. So I'm excited about that, but it is going to be a live investigation. So you're going to be right there live in the action. Good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
You'll all be there watching, and it'll be on a Sunday night. So that is, I'll double check my dates on that. Here I am making announcements.
All right.
Dead air, Joe.
Dead air. All right.
Sunday.
Awesome.
Yep. Sunday the 21st. Yep. That is going to
air.
be a live investigation. So tune in for that. We don't have a set time for it yet or anything like that, but we will be doing a live investigation, which will be a follow-up to one of our bigger, crazier investigations that we've done in the past. So
our friend with the Half Inch Wrench Crew, excited for the leaves to drop. The thermal is going to be awesome this year. That's what people.
The thermal will be functional.
He's got a thermal drone, which is really going to.
Yeah, that'll really shine.
Really shine. In our area, we deal with a lot of mountain laurels and stuff like that, a lot of laurel thickets, and the ground vegetation will decrease a lot, but you still got a lot of like tree canopy up. That's why we haven't really taken that plunge into a really expensive drone yet. But with you guys where you're at, yeah, it's going to be nuts. I've seen some of your footage that you've gotten. And thermal imagers always work better in cooler temperatures. Where we're at in the south, sometimes the ambient temperature is like right at body temperature. You know what I'm saying? You can see the outlines of stuff, but it just doesn't jump out at you like it does.
You're not going to get that beautiful pop.
That beautiful pop. So we're
yeah,
really
you definitely
excited.
need that difference in ambient temperature from living beings that are in the environment. So, and also that leaf cover will be down. So, there's just so many problems when it comes to doing this kind of research in the summertime in this particular part of the country.
Our boy Ken
Lucas,
looking forward to this season's work. Leave the banner alone, Ken.
The banner banger.
I was actually talking to somebody today earlier. This is a little side thing that you all can like join us in on. I was talking to somebody today about how we didn't sell anything at the last 2 conferences we did, just with the sole purpose so we could like focus on meeting people and talking to people and everything like that. And I just went, I said, but they sold our banners there. They all auctioned our banners off. And unfortunately, one of our banners fell into some pretty nefarious hands there by the name of God.
I tell you, I did not sign an agreement saying that they could take a banner, make it with my likeness, and then auction it off to the highest bidder. Whoever comes in there and decides they want to buy
and brutalize
a giant banner of my face.
All right, let's see what else we've got here.
World of Whiskey. World of Whiskey asks, do you all think the amount of sightings are correlated with energy or due to the fact that not as many are out during the summer or winter? There was something we saw a bit back that was saying that when summer is becoming the new winter with the temperatures spiking like they are, people are cloistering themselves inside more than ever before. And you're not seeing as many people out on the trails. I know that when we were coming back from the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot conference, it was quite warm. Those trails were packed, but they were not as packed as they have been in the years prior. So there has been a decrease in people going out and enjoying national parks and wilderness areas as opposed to previous years because the heat is just too much for them. And I know that we've got these winters where we have these polar vortexes occurring and the weather's getting wild. So you don't have as many people going out during those periods of time. You're definitely going to have a decrease in sightings or experiences if you don't have someone out there to have those experiences. In order to have a sighting, you've got to have a couple of different elements. And we've discussed this before. You have to have a creature to be seen, someone to see it, and then perhaps some sort of mechanism or group to report it to.
And then a way for that report to get publicly disseminated at that point as well. So,
yeah. So, you know, this could be both. Could be both. You don't know because we don't have enough information to determine the energy, how the energy affects whether these things are moving around or whether these things are making themselves more apparent. There's still discussion on, is there a migration pattern? Do they move to a different area in different times of years? We don't know. We don't know about any of this, but we can say that the fact that there's not as many people out and about to have these sightings during these hot summers or these cold winters, that's definitely going to affect that.
Well, I think too, and again, we're talking about where we're at. We're in the Southern Appalachians and it's a jungle down here right now. You've had really intense storms, a lot of rainfall followed by very, very, very heavy periods of hot sunshine. And it's made the vegetation has just gone crazy. We were in an area scouting a couple of weekends ago, and it's an old mountain road that is basically just being encroached. You've seen it in some of our videos, but I always forget where the camera's at. The sides are closing in with vegetation. There's a little bit of runoff going down through the middle of it. And it, because I was even thinking, all right, this is worn, something's been traveling back through here. It's just water going down it. But the road is disappearing. And I stopped and I just went, normally we say something could be 10 feet away from us and we wouldn't know it. Right now, something could be 5 feet away from us and we literally wouldn't know it.
Yeah. It's
so thick. So I think that plays a part in sightings sometimes. The terrain, the environment really goes towards, because especially too, when you're hiking through or trying to traverse through those areas, you got to watch your footing. You're not really paying attention around you a lot. You're just trying to make sure that you can safely put one foot in front of the other. Watch your step, get through the branches and everything like that. It's not like going through a hiking trail where you can really kind of like look around and admire your surroundings. It's difficult going. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. And in the act of paying attention to what you're doing, you lose attention to your surroundings that aren't immediately in front of you at that point. So I think that definitely kind of plays into the fact as far as sightings go. I think the activity for a lot of this stuff's going on all the darn time. You know what I'm saying? I just think that either people aren't there to witness it, or they're not paying attention. I just think that sometimes the activity is a little bit more, bold and a little bit more, brazen in how it shows itself.
Well, there's something to be said too, that if you are sort of accustomed with an area and you have like a baseline in the area, and perhaps maybe whatever is in that environment is used to you at a point, and feels almost like it's almost comfortable enough to show itself in a way. I think we've experienced that kind of thing in our North Georgia research area, that it seems like the more we go, the weirder things start to get. The more we are out there and the environment is more familiar with us, and what's in the environment is more familiar with us. We recently did a scouting expedition out in North Georgia, and I've got that footage. I'm going to share that with members this week, for you guys to kind of see what it looks like up there, how overgrown and crazy and just jungle-like conditions it's in. But I'm going to share that, just the scouting footage, with members this week, so you guys can kind of check that out. Overall, though, it was very, very quiet.
Very quiet.
However, it's been a long time since we've been up there. We've not been in that area in a very long time. We don't have a baseline for the area, and whatever's in the area, if it's changed, if there's anything's changed out there, it doesn't have a baseline for us either.
Yeah. Hippie Heather, hi from Southern Georgia. I'm new to the channel, binge watching since finding y'all on the Morse Mountain release. Loving the content. Welcome, Hippie Heather. Welcome to the channel. Welcome.
I got some other stuff marked too, by the way. Keep Brian, the content coming.
We're set, man. We're set. We've got I'm feeling better and more positive. We were ran down for like a while. We were tired, man. I'm not gonna lie about it.
I think the process,
starting with doing Cryptid Con, from Cryptid Con to the documentary to Smoky Mountain to Tennessee, Wild Man.
Well, the process of doing that documentary was quite a learning experience. And I may have mentioned this before. It's like, prior to doing that documentary, we were filming a few days at a time, and then we would put out a video. We'd put out a video of that experience, of that short period of time. It wasn't as complex as all of these different investigations over a period of time. And then we had to kind of put that together in a way that made sense, do all of the, post-production, all of the editing, go through hours and hours, like over 40 hours of footage. We have whole investigations from that didn't make it into the video. We have all kinds of stuff that we kind of had to do. And we were spinning our wheels a lot, trying to do these experiments that we never even used in the final thing. And so we really learned a lot. We've really grown a lot in terms of how we are going to capture what we experience. We're going to plan a little better with some of this, and hopefully by being a little more economical with how we do it, and like more fine-tuned with how we do it, we're going to get past all the BS and get back right into work. And then that way we're not dealing with all of that, and we're actually going and trying to get that footage, trying to get that evidence that we're seeking out there.
Yeah. So another couple things here real quick. What type of public mapping projects do you use? Do they include Dogman encounters? I'm gonna be honest with you, we don't really use a lot of public mapping stuff anymore. The region that we're operating in, we know where the pattern of activity usually happens at. And I kind of swim against the rest of the Bigfoot world with this, in that public mapping projects are, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think just such a small minority of these creatures are seen when they're out and about. And then out of those sightings, it is a fraction of those sightings get reported. And then a percentage of that fraction maybe makes it to one of these mapping.
You're looking at what you could, I guess, refer to as a sightings funnel, to where it kind of starts here with this wide open-ended funnel. You throw it all in and it starts to funnel it down and filter it out until you finally get at the very bottom, the few encounters that you hear about. And that's just a tiny, tiny bit of the encounters or sightings or experiences that are happening out there.
And then you've got to think about the quality of the reports. I'm looking at it as a lot of times.
I just got an alert.
It's garbage in, garbage out.
I just got an alert.
Jesse's got an alert.
Got an alert.
Got an alert. So I don't really use them that much anymore. There's a database that a few like long-term Bigfoot researchers had set up. It's kind of clunky. Used to use that in the past, but nowadays I see the value in knowing where the activity has been. I want to know where the activity's at now, baby. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays it's recent reports. Yeah, it might be valuable to know that there were 3 Bigfoot sightings, 30 years ago in a particular area. It means that maybe they were there at least once upon a time. But with us now at this point, I'm not even really messing with mapping things at all. And the Dogman mapping one that was out, I think that was like cloaked hedgehog was the big one. I'd probably trust Jody Cook was doing some mapping for a while. I'd trust his. Cloaked hedgehog included like everything, podcasts, everything like that. It was very comprehensive. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't trust a lot of reports that are faceless, that are presented for entertainment's sake. I don't know. I mean, I take a lot of those with a grain of salt. So what we do nowadays is what we've kind of done in the past, but we really look for those recent reports, and we look in non-traditional avenues for those.
Yeah.
We look in areas that I don't go off anything that somebody reports in a Bigfoot Facebook group anymore. I just don't trust a lot of it.
I think with a lot of, when it comes to a lot of these Facebook groups, a lot of it has become more of a social circle.
Nothing wrong with that.
But which there's nothing, I never said anything was wrong with it.
I think you're saying something's wrong with
that. I think that for a lot of people, it's become a social circle and maybe a way that they can be Bigfoot enthusiasts together and not necessarily, report things that are actually happening. And I think that a lot of that has happened. And so now you end up with reports that you're not sure is this part of someone's kind of fan fiction, or is this something that actually happened? So it's a little hard.
I'm just telling you, the more that I've kind of seen like behind the curtain on a lot of this stuff, a lot of reports get kicked out because they don't match up with what the researcher involved considers a credible Bigfoot sighting. So a lot of the weirder ones just get kicked out. And I've noticed that the more well-known a researcher is, a witness will tailor their encounter to what they know that the researcher will like.
Do you remember that incident with the horses?
Oh yeah, we had a lady that lived right within an easy drive of us that was, and this is when we really started to distrust Facebook Bigfoot groups. She was claiming that these creatures were coming in and attacking her horses, ripping her horses up. She had photographs, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, but she couldn't figure out what it was. And so I got in touch with her, and I'm just like, listen, we're not that far from you. We'll figure out what it is. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out what it is. If it's something as prosaic as a mountain lion, we'll figure that out pretty quick. If it's something more exotic and strange and unusual and maybe paranormal, we're pretty well suited to be able to kind of at least figure out what's going on there for you. And then you can figure out a plan how to stop it, And the conversation went on and on and on. We were making plans to go up there. We were trying to get an avenue of what we were going to do to approach this. How are we going to try to get footage of whatever this was? And then she told me she made the whole damn story up because she had a crush on a podcaster. And she was doing the story in hopes that the podcaster would notice it and invite her on the show.
Yeah. And
crush is maybe not the right word. She was like very obsessed with the show.
Notice me, senpai.
Yeah. So and I'm basically going, well, you wasted some of my time. At least you didn't have me come up there. But that's when I was like, wow, there are people out there that get very personally invested in programs, shows, podcasts, YouTube channels, whatever, to the point where they'll make up something in order to try to like get there. Don't ever do that with us, please. You know what I'm saying? So that's, we're busy people. But I'll tell you who's good witnesses.
Who's good witnesses?
Who's good witnesses?
Tell you who's the good witnesses?
Is our boy Kyle from the documentary, Perfect Witness.
Yeah.
Yes. Wasn't really excited to talk to anybody.
Didn't want to talk to us very much.
Didn't really want to come out and admit that Bigfoot was what he might have encountered.
Yeah.
Those people that are like that, not the ones that are going, I'm going to be on the show and then maybe I can get my own show then and maybe I'll be famous.
We've gotten
stop working at the factory. So,
we've gotten some reports in the past. This has happened to us a couple of times. I guess as sort of the profile kind of goes up a little bit more, but we've gotten some reports in the past where people are telling us all this. We're like, wow, this is cool. We'll do a call with them, do some like preliminary kind of phone calls and interviews with them. And okay, trying to figure out what's going on, get a baseline of what's happening with the activity with them. And then it starts to get very strange where they're trying to get us to come to where they live and not tell anybody where we're going to. They want us to go to very remote locations in very dangerous areas and not let anybody know where we're going. That's a great way for me to end up in the bottom of a mine shaft and Joe to end up tied up in a basement for 10 years.
I don't want to be like a slave like that. You know what I'm saying? So
of course you don't, Joseph. Of course you don't. What'd you look for?
Oh,
I've got some stuff marked here. I'm going to go through here. Mr. Drawback Trucker goes, give her a break, Joseph. Invite her on.
Invite her on. So let me go through some of the stuff you got started here real quick. Tumbler check. Blaze Orange. Stanley tumbler. It's awesome.
I got the Halloween tumbler with all the accessories on it.
Good God. That thing
it's a glow in the dark.
10 pounds.
Doesn't that look disgusting? How that wiggles like that? Isn't that vile? I love it.
That is vile. Miranda Crew, our buddy Miranda. Best place, best great group of people I call family. The Hellbenders. So
Jojo Co says, why are there pop-up ads during the live stream? Because we are on YouTube.
YouTube does that. That's how YouTube makes their money. And
yep, we are on YouTube. So
the more people we get on here, the more ads you'll get. So that ain't us doing the ads. It's YouTube. So let's see what else we get.
And then we'll get into our topic today. We're talking Dogman today.
Yeah. Urban PC question, Joe, do you think the Schumann resonance has any bearing on cryptid sightings? I don't know if anyone researches that. Actually, we've toyed around with that in the past. That's like extremely low frequency electromagnetic waves that basically are between like the surface of the earth and like the ionosphere. Okay. And they usually bounce around 7.8 hertz. They're really low. So we've talked about that. We actually looked at trying to do something to see if there was maybe a correlation between like those frequencies, maybe areas that had like higher intensity waves and others, and if there was maybe an increase in strange activity around there. One of the things I always thought was interesting about that is it's almost half of that 1.6, well, not almost half, but it's a multiple of that Skinwalker Ranch. What is that? 1.6. What we found. I think they've got like an actual very precise signal that they've picked up. And so I don't know. It's interesting to me because I think a lot of this stuff.
Didn't you pick that up at Station 16 in the LBO?
I picked up like weird frequency. Yeah, but I had like the big spectrum analyzer down through there, and it's I don't know. It's something that we've talked about and looked about before. They've got the Schumann like frequency generators, but they're tiny.
Patty said they have found 1.2 also, but yes, 1.6.
I haven't seen the 1.2. We've never had anything with 1.2, so not that I know of. Or if we did, I didn't pay any attention to it because it wasn't
1.6. I would say 1.6.
1.6. So
yeah. So
well, that's a perfect segue into our topic, though. Can
I talk about something I learned about this week? Before we get into that,
tell us what you learned.
This will be quick, I promise. Okay, so you know how we have different types of wild men, hairy men from around the world that you hear about. You hear about the Yeren all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about the same ones all the time. I learned about one from the Philippines, and I'm just going to read a quick little aside about it. This one is very interesting to me. It's called a capre. A capre is a mythical giant tree-dwelling creature from Philippine folklore, known for its hairy body, dark skin, strong odor, and pipe smoking. He sits up in a tree and smokes a pipe.
That's got a lot of parallels to like Western European folklore.
While often mischievous and sometimes leading travelers astray, it can also be a guardian spirit of the forest. Capres are not inherently evil, but can become dangerous if their home tree is harmed. I just thought it was interesting that he sits up in a tree and smokes a pipe all the time.
Smokes a pipe all the time. So.
The capre. I just thought you guys would find that interesting. All right, now let's get into our topic, guys. Dogman.
Dogman.
We're going
to
to talk about Dogman being found in liminal spaces. This is iron bridges, cemeteries, places that are sort of areas of crossing over, and that can mean different things. Different
Real quick, paramedics had a thing about the story we told earlier about the mutilated horses. One of the photos I found online. The others I did not. Now that does not mean that they didn't exist online. I'm just using a reverse image thing, and those aren't always the best. I never thought of that until you brought it up, paramedic. I'm hoping she wasn't like hurting her horses just to. Damn, I wish we saw that information. We'd call call animal welfare check on her for God's sake. So, but
William Kennedy, tree monsters are real. No fear.
No fear.
Fear no capre.
So we talked last week about Dogman sightings, and we talked about how we're not getting the frequency of Dogman sightings in this area that we have gotten in the past. I mean, you couldn't swing a cat without hitting like a little holler with like a Dogman sighting, or like a small town that was claiming multiple people were claiming to see it. And we're not getting that now.
It was like I don't know if you could call it a flap. I don't know. I guess
I'd call it a flap.
There was like a
regional flap, definitely.
Huge increase in these sightings and these stories coming out from all over.
And for those of you that are new to the channel, I'll kind of take you through what we're talking about. It's that this is before we ever went to the LBL. This is before we had any association with Dogman whatsoever. We got a report, Bigfoot researcher, longtime Bigfoot researcher, that reached out to me, and he wasn't quite sure. And he even said that, he goes, I'm giving this to you because I'm not quite sure what to do with it. If it wasn't for the source, I would immediately dismiss it. The source was his daughter, and they had gotten a cabin in Blowing Rock, North Carolina for Christmas, for their Christmas vacation. The daughter was a runner, collegiate runner. She went out, she was running, having a morning run. Something came out of the tree line, started chasing her on this trail.
But on all fours.
All fours. She starts running as you would, glances over her shoulder just in time to see this canine creature rise to its rear legs, pour on the speed. So she hit it into overdrive, ran into the cabin, locked the door, very upset, blah, 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 blah. So I basically, much more elaborate, but I basically just went, damn, that's crazy. And that's pretty much all. I was just like, wow, well,
Now, how did you came to kind of find connection with this individual that told you about his daughter's experience via Bigfoot?
Yeah, and I can't go into how I knew him exactly, but he was a longtime Bigfoot researcher who was part of a...
but didn't know kind of how to get this out there.
But none of them believed in Dogman.
But I guess he knew by way of whatever that
he knew we were near there.
Okay.
Just by proximity.
And that you're open and more crazier kind of.
I wasn't quite as open then, but I was more open than they were. You know what I'm saying? But even then, I wasn't that open.
You weren't off the rails like
I wasn't off the rails like I am right now. But I was still. But he basically just reached out because it was in very close proximity to us. Mm-hmm. And then I just basically went, well, damn, that's wild. I didn't go, we've got to go to Blowing Rock. That's where the Dogman is. I just basically went, well, damn, that's wild. Thanks for sharing it, and kind of just left it. After that, it just started with more and more frequency. We got more and more reports of upright canines, werewolves. Nobody said Dogman. Nobody ever said Dogman. Monsters, wolf monsters, werewolves, all of this stuff. And it stretched from Blowing Rock, North Carolina down. And it was just all in this little line through there. And we had no affiliation with Dogman whatsoever. We really weren't that well known at this point for us to really start getting a lot of reports like this, but we got them.
They started to trickle in and out of nowhere. And what was kind of frustrating about it is because the frustrating thing about it was we had kind of a bad attitude towards the phenomenon.
Oh, we had
an extreme.
Oh my God, Stingray's in here. Lord.
Oh,
Stingray, my man. Every time I see that mod wrench next to Stingray, I'm just like, what the hell were we thinking? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm going with it.
Good to see you, my brother. But
never back down from a good decision.
Yes, indeed. So, so the thing is that we got all these reports. We got a ton of them.
We got a report from a woman in Lenore, North Carolina, that was claiming that a Dogman was coming around her house.
Trying to get into her house.
It was urinating around her basement windows, and that it was actually beating on the basement windows of her house.
Its arm broke through the window and tried to grab, I believe it was the uncle.
Isn't that reminiscent of like Boggy Creek?
Yeah, it killed her dog. We went up there to investigate, and here's one of these things that happens when you deal with stuff like this. They were in a very heightened state of anxiety, and they were all very well armed. Okay. Very well armed, extremely well armed, very trigger happy. And here's the deal. Can't blame them if it's really what's going on. But at the same time, I don't want to catch a bullet, and I don't want somebody else to catch a bullet by mistake, or the neighbor's dog to get shot. And then the cops show up and they're like, well, who the hell are you guys? We're Bigfoot investigators from South Carolina. I don't have enough time in my day for something like that. So we had to pull back because I don't want to get shot.
I think we end up like committed at that point. We're on the 5th floor at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So there's real world concerns that goes along with this stuff. Sometimes the mundane world sometimes intrudes upon these things.
How dare you?
So, but we got so many reports, man.
Don't you understand? I'm a Dogman hunter.
Straight jacket as they like.
I thought this was America. This is democracy manifest.
So they, so anyway, we were getting a ton, and they were from people who were not really involved.
I see you know your Dogman encounters well.
There were people that weren't really involved in the cryptid community. They weren't people who were seeing Dogman behind every stick and stone out there.
Yeah.
And then it really ramped up when we went to the LBL. And, we were thinking about it. We were going, well, maybe it's just because we haven't done a big Dogman investigation right now. We're not on the forefront of people's minds. But then I'm going, we weren't on the forefront of people's minds with this stuff.
Yeah.
When we started getting all these reports,
And I know we talk about, serendipity and fate driving us into weird things. And it seems like that whole thing was that sort of thing happening to us, to where it was driving us in a direction we ignored, or we're like, okay, with the first couple ones we got, then we kept getting more. And then it finally drove us to a point where we
went to the LBL. And we went to the LBL making fun of it the entire damn time. And we laughed about it, and we just completely just laughed it off, and we made memes about it. And then we got there and reality slapped us in the face. And we were like, there's something to this phenomenon. There's something to this phenomenon. And as we looked into it even more, we came to the same conclusion that Oki does, that there's a spiritual side to this as well, not necessarily a positive spiritual side to this. And I'll tell you right now that every single person that is intellectually honest and is thorough in their research, no matter where they start out with, they look into this, they come to realize that it's real, and there's something paranormal. When I say paranormal, like Loki said, spiritual.
But you can't quite place your finger on it, but you can see these commonalities that you're finding with notable Dogman encounters, notable Dogman experiences. And we're talking about us going to the LBL. Let's start with that. let's start with, what do you find at the LBL? You look at it geographically, look at the terrain, look at the land itself, look at the history of it itself. What do you use to get to the LBL every time? Bridges. You can't access the LBL without crossing a bridge, except for on the southern end. Also, it's got hundreds of cemeteries.
Well, what we're talking about is that Dogman, far more so than Bigfoot, although Bigfoot to a very large degree, well, I can't say a very large degree, a certain degree, shares this quality, but Dogman's, I wish we had a better name than Dogman. But you know what's crazy is all of this, the alternative names that people come up with, upright canids and everything like that, sound just as ridiculous.
We need to be like Filipinos and come up with something cool like capre.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
So Dogman has an affinity and an affiliation and attraction to liminal spaces, places that are between, and that's something that you see in folklore all around the world. You see these creatures, these like supernatural events happen in areas that are between two things. They're the border between two things. It can sometimes be as flat out literal as a border between two regions. You know what I'm saying? A border between two countries. My favorite like European, one of my favorite European, like,
you're gonna hate me. This has affected me too much.
Things of folklore is red caps. They're called border goblins because they would haunt border areas between perhaps two, just between two regions. It could be two counties. It could be between, Scotland and England, but they would haunt borders. And when you look at Dogman, it seems like it's found around areas that, I'm going to kind of man the chat here while I do this with it. It's kind of manned, it pops in to areas where there's a spiritual significance to it. So the big one that we have found that you hear about quite often is cemeteries. Dogman's found in and around cemeteries, which doesn't really make a lot of sense for like a natural undiscovered animal
to be attracted to
cemeteries.
Such a place.
You also see that with Native American mounds and Native American earthworks. We learned pretty early on that if we had a credible Dogman sighting, if you look hard enough, you're going to find some sort of Native American earthwork or mound within a very, very close proximity. If you didn't have one of these other more like visible, like liminal areas. Jesse's the one that made the connection with a lot of like ones that, at least in the Southern Appalachians, there's a lot of Dogman reports that are seen around old iron bridges. Now, if you look at like the folkloric, connection with that, a lot of time iron is repellent to like supernatural forces. You know what I'm saying? The fae, everything like that. And I'm going, well, it's, if we think that there's something like, that ties in with like folklore, why old iron bridges? And then I'm going, well, a lot of this stuff, there's like a weird there's like a weird poetry to a lot of this stuff. Does that make sense? There's like a lot of weird kind of like symbolic meaning to a lot of this stuff that when you think about it, it makes sense. And if a lot of these things have like are repelled by iron, and you see that in just mostly in Western Europe, but that props up, and that's cold iron especially, but, cold iron that's been worked, not like elemental iron, but iron that has been formed into a structure or an object. That kind of symbolizes mankind's dominion over the natural world. And because these creatures are maybe of the unnatural world, maybe that had some sort of symbolic kind of like power over them. But then I'm going, well, why are they seen around old iron bridges? And I'm going, well, something that might be repellent to them has been transformed into a liminal area. So it's almost like the power of iron to repel has now been reconfigured into a liminal spot. And maybe that's now something that attracts them or strengthens them or allows them to cross over. The one thing about a liminal area is that, yeah, it's a border between a liminal spot is a border between two areas, but it's also often a weak spot.
Yeah.
And it is somewhere that perhaps it's more easier for them to come across or manifest or do anything like that at all. But that's one of the things we're thinking about is that we need to, you know, as time goes on, a lot of these liminal areas, yeah, you've got some, you know, like a real well-visited like cemetery, you know, that's still going to have people visiting it and whatnot. But I'm wondering if it's the lack of witnesses in these areas that's causing this lack of reporting at this point.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of people have not really been doing outdoor activities for the past several months, like Jesse said, because of the heat. The heat has been so bad, especially in our region. A lot of outdoor activities have really been curtailed because of the heat at this point. It's really not that pleasant to go out, so fewer people have gone out. I don't know. I think we need to kind of like delve more into the nature of these things and try to like maybe figure that out instead of just casting a real wide net looking for Dogman sightings. Maybe we need to go kind of just start going and hitting these liminal areas, you know?
Because it seems like those are the areas that are attracting these things. And I mean, you're looking for a certain thing that seems like it's got a pattern of behavior or a pattern of emergence. Then you would go to those locations.
I got 2 hours, got to go to one. I wonder if people don't come forward as much now for Dogman sightings because it's seen as demonic to some folks, where Bigfoot is more human-like. Why some sightings have decreased. I'll tell you this right now. There has been a very weird adoption of
cult-like
backwoods snake handling preacher behavior by people who aren't religious in the slightest, but they just do it and it quite honestly, it's very off-putting. So I'm wondering too, if maybe
in terms of people involved in
the public facing people involved in this stuff,
I think
they're so damn crazy sometimes that maybe witnesses just go, I just saw a werewolf. Who do I talk to?
And then you look up
and you go, good God, I don't want anything to do with these people.
I think I'll just try to forget
it to myself. I'll just file that back away and just try not to think about it anymore.
And Dogman encounters, above all else, above say Sasquatch experiences, it seems like it has a deeper, more earth-shattering effect on those who experience that.
Oh yeah.
I think that to a degree, people can accept that there is possibly a Bigfoot out there, even if they take a more flesh and blood, quote unquote, approach and say, oh, it could be a relict hominid or something like that. That's something that's more acceptable to the general public. But then you see an upright canid, and that's a bridge too far. Forgive the pun. But that's a bridge too far for a lot of people. And for a lot of people, that could be so earth-shattering.
And we're going to kind of meander all over the damn place right now with this. It's going to be, why are they attracted there in the first place? And why are we not getting the reports out of there? But, you know, one of the things is...
This is kind of a free-flowing.
You guys chime in on the chat. But, you know, one of the things, too, is that... A very large percentage of liminal places have an uncanny, you know, like the uncanny valley with robotics.
Yeah.
You get something that looks nothing human at all, like R2-D2, and people think it's adorable. The closer an android or an artificial creation comes to appearing human-like, we're very disturbed by it. And that's a whole nother show right there to unpack. And people have... And trust me, I've heard all of the reasons why people say the uncanny valley exists. Dead bodies, the sick, everything like that. None of that makes sense.
Do you think it's some sort of genetic memory?
You have a genetic memory that there used to be things. And listen, it could be as prosaic as we used to live alongside Neanderthals and, you know, Denisovians and all of these that. But anyway, we're not going to get off on that. But you know, the uncanny valley is something that it's uncanny is uncomfortable sometimes. And a lot of these liminal places carry a certain uncomfortable nature to it because they, in a lot of cases, like the old settlements, you know, that we've had a ton of activity around, they used to be human areas and now the wild is taking them back over.
Yeah.
cemeteries are obviously it's a place of transition and death and everything like that. Maybe it's the fact that some of these places on a real base level invoke feelings of unease in you, and these creatures can use that feeling of unease to come over at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think they're now. Benita, our buddy Benita had starred this. Damn, we got a lot of stuff starred.
Got a lot of stuff started. I've been starting some stuff along the way here as well.
Where is Benita's thing? Damn. Benita had asked, oh, here we go. Benita had asked, Joe, Jesse, what's your opinion of some of these dogmen being part of the Super Soldier Project? I'm going to, just like with UFOs, like UAPs, flying saucers or whatever, if the U.S. government or other governments as well, but if they know these things exist, and especially if they have some of them, they're going to try to reverse engineer them. They'd be fools not to. Even if they don't.
And there has been discussion of the Chinese creating chimeras at this point, too.
Well, yeah, but with there's alien reproduction vehicles, ARVs, basically, which are man-made alien craft. We've tried to reproduce what they had, and it's real damn good, but it's not the same thing as the original. And I've often gone, wouldn't they do that for the other weird stuff out there too? Okay. If they know there's a dogman, would they maybe try to recreate that? Would they maybe
reverse engineer that in a way?
Well, even if dogman's a spiritual creature, there is a possibility that they could maybe go, these things have a very crazy psychological effect on the people that they interact with. Maybe we could reproduce and weaponize that.
And even if that seems like that's so beyond the pale, if you're preparing for the instance of perhaps global total war, you would not stop at anything to have the most.
Well, I can't remember what it was in the Philippines, I think maybe in World War II. I'd have to look it up. But they were basically killing enemy guards at night and making it look like the local version of a vampire guy. You know what I'm saying? In order
psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare. So I don't know, Benita, it's possible. I don't think it's as widespread as what people would say.
Yeah.
I think that it's possible that it's happened, but I wouldn't put anything past it. I just don't think it's as widespread. And I think that if anybody witnessed that, they wouldn't be allowed to walk away to tell the story. I just don't think they would.
And also, could that be a sort of a vehicle to get away from the more supernatural theories about dogman? That you could say that perhaps this is a spiritual, supernatural sort of entity, but that's another kind of, even if it is a wild diversion from that, that's still a diversion from the possibility of it being a supernatural being.
Possibly,
there's no way this is a supernatural being because the government has engineered these as super soldiers.
You don't break international law, domestic law, spend billions of dollars, and then just like let witnesses walk away. Right. So that's the only thing. I think if that is happening, I don't think we've ever heard
a legitimate account
case of it. I'll just go back to that. Why? Why would you? Do you know what I'm saying? It's too easy nowadays to
track everyone,
to eliminate a problem of that. So,
to track and eliminate.
Yeah. Best dogman investigations. No, if you guys are just good investigators all together, we appreciate that one, man. Our buddy Grizz, the Wog of Notorok. That is a Native American legend that you all will be hearing more about down the road. But I guess what we're looking for is we want to explore the dogman phenomenon more than what we already have.
I want to explore kind of more in depth of what is going on.
But we don't just want to go, here's a patch of woods, let's go look for the dogman. No, we want to hone in more. And it was easy before because we were getting a lot of recent credible reports.
I need you to take a pause for a moment. Craig DeHunter has graced us with his
presence.
My
Lord.
I didn't know that
Craig DeHunter.
There was royalty in town.
I can't even believe he said hello to me. I just thought it would just be hello to you at that point.
Well,
Thank you, Craig.
Everyone gets blessed once.
Craig has a YouTube channel that is hilarious. You want to find that and drop a link to it?
I will do that.
We will often kind of pop into the chat and just say hello. Mad Axeman, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Barry goes, could it have something to do with the ferromagnetic property of iron and portals? It might very well. That's the thing, is we need to start looking outside the box. That's great. That's absolutely great. We think that areas that have a high quartz, deposit, high, like just very prevalent deposits of quartz seem to really have a lot of activity. There's something going on. I mean, we talked about the Schumann frequencies earlier, and the world around you is not as mundane as you think it is. There's just energies and it was always that hippy dippy thing. We're just all vibrations. Well, when you really get down to it, there's so much going on like such a small subatomic level around you that it's like, and we don't really talk about it that much anymore, but we used to talk about how you're not evolved to notice everything around you. You basically, your brain treats everything like a dashboard just to get through life. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to know, some things. You don't need to be able to see frequencies around you. You need to see visible light bouncing off of surfaces. You know what to eat, you know what to avoid, you know where to walk, and everything like that. So I think that, the more we get into this, the more we start to realize that John Keel was on something with the super spectrum. But you've got your regular electromagnetic spectrum, but then you've got stuff on either side that extends past our ability to see, our ability to detect. But you can't see gamma radiation, gamma rays.
But you better believe it's there.
They're there and they're going to affect you.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff like this, sometimes there's something going on, man. That's the thing, is that and I think that we got to start, maybe, since we're not getting the Dogman reports that we got, we need to start honing. We don't need to look at where they've been at. We need to look at where they might be. And we need to go there with intent. We want to see a Dogman. We want to see a Dogman. We want to film a Dogman. We want to do this. And we need to do whatever we can do. We need to deploy the beacon. We need to do whatever we need to do to kind of like...
And I'll treat it like a sort of a supernatural encounter, because when you look at these encounters, these experiences people are having and what people have witnessed, it has a more of a supernatural bent than anything else. So lean into that direction. Don't treat it as a Jane Goodall situation. Treat it as a Jack Parsons situation, right?
Yeah, I don't.
No Jane, more Jack.
No Jane, more Jack. There you go. No Jane, more Jack.
Yeah.
Less Jane, more Jack.
Less Jane, more Jack.
No, because again, you can't go and, live with them and learn their ways and everything like that. That's impossible. So we've got to treat it more like trying to
learn their ways. I don't know.
Rick Skinner's got a great thing here. Rick, I loved you before, but I love you more for this. Could the Dogman in Cemeteries be church grims that appear as large black dogs? I've actually got the outline of a book, if I ever found time to write it, about the similarities between spectral black dog phenomenon and modern day Dogman phenomenon. Church grims are dogs that would be ended and buried in church cemeteries to act as often guardians of that area. And there would be a lot of paranormal activity involving those dogs afterwards. So
they were often buried alive.
Yeah, church grims were more protectors, but they weren't friendly. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's been some theories that the Dogmen are protecting certain areas, that there's like some sort of protection to them. They're very aggressive protectors, but and not all Dogman sightings are like that. There have been some pretty high profile ones that don't match that. But I think that there's a famous one that was actually an American Werewolf. This guy was a judge. I can't remember his name, but he was jogging as a kid. And one of these things that, if I remember correctly, it looked more like the Anubis type, chased him through, the rows of corn and everything like that.
Did you get the Anubis comment on here already?
No, I did not.
I'll throw that up in a second. But go ahead. Tell me about the Anubis.
So he ran away from it, everything like that. But the thing, if I remember the story correctly, really tried to stay on the boundary of the road and the corn. And that's part of the reason the guy was able to get away. And if I remember correctly, he jumped in a pool of water and just kind of like went down to hope that the thing wouldn't get him or something like that. I might be butchering that story, but there was a liminal nature to that as well. I think that even the ones where it's not apparent, if you look at it from several different angles, all of a sudden it does become apparent that maybe these things exist in certain places at certain times.
But also it seems like they respect certain boundaries, that there is some sort of, there's some kind of rule book here.
Just like the spectral black dog phenomenon in Western Europe, we run about the same percentage of it just scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Or it physically attacked me.
Right.
Because most Dogman encounters, there's no physical interaction. You know what I'm saying?
It's sort of a spiritual and psychological warfare.
And it projects to you that I could take you. I could kill you. I could take you if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. But then that was often very, very much reported with spectral black dog encounters. Spectral black dog encounters are just that. Very large supernatural dog. Hellhounds, church grims, the black shuck, the barghest. There's almost every county, especially in the UK, has its own variation of a spectral black dog. Sometimes they walked on two legs, but they were purely an animation of spirit. They were physical, but they weren't corporeal. They weren't always here. They weren't like a werewolf or something like that. They weren't like the beast of Jevedon. They were something that would come and go. They were supernatural. They're paranormal, you know, but they could hurt you upon occasion. So
Scorpius mentioned earlier, is it coincidence that ancient Egypt held Anubis as guardian of death and the afterlife for several millennia?
Absolutely. It's
that representation of crossing over, of guiding over.
This is such
guarding it, and you think about this too, the nature of the dog, the guardian of it.
When you come to the realization that
is it weird? Okay, here's a stream of consciousness thing. You have guardians leading, guiding, seeing eye dog, guides for the blind, that kind of thing. Man's best friend.
That's where I was going to with it.
In parallel. It's parallel with humanity.
This is such a weirdly complex and confusing topic, even more so than Bigfoot. And to be quite honest with you, when you come to the realization that there's something here, okay, there's something here. I don't think there's like packs of dog people living in the woods and having babies and sleeping under bushes. They're not here all the time.
Dogman bush babies.
Dogman bush babies. But they're not here all the time. And it's so loaded with like symbolism and double meaning and everything like that. You mentioned when you look at canines, they were early man's fiercest competitors because they were also pack hunters. Okay. And much like early man was, okay, they hunted in packs. Early man hunted in packs. We didn't really go out solo a lot. But then they became man's best friend. And quite honestly, there are a lot of people that there's a theory going around that the way that Homo sapiens, early Homo sapiens were really able to outcompete Neanderthals was because we had domesticated canines to aid us in combat, to help us hunt, to everything like that. And that's part of the reason that alliance was able to.
It was that mutual relationship.
Was able to allow us to outcompete them, even though they were more physically gifted than we were. So there's so much that you come into with just the idea of a canine anyway.
Yeah.
But then you get into this, and then you start looking at, again, a natural, normal creature would not be attracted to these in-between spots, okay? And part of the reason why we're talking about this is we want to expend mental energy on it, and we want you all to expend mental energy on it because we're coming up to a very liminal time.
Yeah.
The equinox is coming up, where the day and night are of equal length. And so we're going to be in a liminal place during a liminal time and see if something decides to show itself to us and see if we can document something. Because I'll be honest with you, it's been a while since we've had some of those vocalizations that we've had in the past sounded distinctly more canine, but not like dogs, coyotes, or wolves in this area. But it sounded big. It sounded ticked off, and there was more of a vocal nature to it, like it wasn't just an animal crying. It was something. There was meaning behind those calls.
Right.
Some of the stuff we heard in the Grove, some of the stuff we've heard in North Georgia, some of those other places. So, anyway, we'll see what else we got here in the chat for it.
Got some stuff marked there.
Dead end yard haunt. Heard that Dogman has been hanging out at Siesta Key Beach drinking margaritas. Maybe you should investigate that. Oh man,
pack your bags.
We're done. We'll see you all in a month. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Dragon. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Texas Dragon.
Sue Powell wants to know, does Jesse have Native American heritage?
I did a DNA test.
Jesse has some Cherokee.
I do.
So
I even did a follow-up one. But yes, I'm from Western North Carolina, and I do. I do.
How about trying to look at all the locations they were seen and the dates of each sighting and then track them on a map and check out the lines between those locations? That's actually not bad. Yeah, that's the problem you run into is that so many Dogman got popular and Dogman got like a sexy topic. There's like really well-known Dogman and like encounters and sightings and interactions out there that I know are all like BS. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? Where?
But
what encounters are BS? Which one? Wait.
Yeah, I'm saying if we could start tracking.
Oh, out there.
Out in the world. Okay. Yeah, but it's but there's others that we know that never saw the light of day that are just like.
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets lost in the mix.
Believable, man. So it's a good idea, though. Let's see what else we got here. Greg, there was a lady found dead last week from a possible animal attack. No one witnessed the attack. Her body was just found next to the road. There was a slew of them.
I'm always interested in these stories. Greg, if you could send us some more information about this particular story, because I'd like to read about this story. If you have any other information about it, you can email me at hellbentholler@gmail.com, because I'd like to read a couple of these stories and kind of add them to our list of stories like this.
What always gets me is weird animal attacks on people and weird animal attacks on other animals.
Weird animal escapes.
Weird animal. And it's just where the authorities they dance around the topic. You know what I'm saying? They dance around the topic. There's been a couple where the local like sheriff's office and Fish and Wildlife have argued over what it is, and it's gotten kind of heated. But that's kind of slowed down a bit. I didn't know that had happened, but it's the one you're talking about, Greg. I haven't heard anything about that recently. Send that to us if you can, or post it in here and we'll see it. But listen, there's a lot of feral dogs running around the country right now. Okay. In rural areas, there's always been groups of feral dogs running around. Maybe it's the fact that people aren't armed like they used to be, you know, maybe it's that we've just gotten too civilized or whatever, but man, there's
also not like a control on, there's a rampant issue with overbreeding of domestic dogs that are just left.
It seems like that would be pretty easy to kind of just go, hey man, dog's got this lady. You know, why does there have to be confusion on it a lot of times? It looks like a lot of times they don't want to come out and say it wasn't dogs, but they don't want to consider the alternatives, because what are the alternatives? If it's not a dog that did it and somebody wasn't illegally keeping a tiger and that's gotten loose, you know what I'm saying?
Or we got a Jack the Ripper situation.
Yeah, no doubt. So Matt Axman, the rock throwing capture was awesome, Jesse and Joe. I think he's talking about Morse Mountain.
Yeah.
That was thanks to us quickly adapting the equipment that we had.
Absolutely. Stingray, Joe is dreamy.
My man.
Stingray
is glad to have you here, man.
Man of pure of heart and pure of wrench.
Ah, yes. Pure of wrench. She said he was pure of wrench earlier.
Pure of wrench.
Michael Tovar goes, so there Dogman populations are breeding going on. I don't think that I go back and forth. I don't know. there's not as much Dogman evidence. You've got to, no matter what you think about the phenomenon, you got to admit there's nowhere near as much Dogman evidence as there is even Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, by a large margin.
We have found some oversized regular canine tracks.
But that's the thing too. You find an oversized canine track. It's large. Even if you find that, you can say that it's something else. You can say it's a large dog. So even if, say, it's actually a Dogman print, any normal person that isn't thinking about this or isn't aware of this might see those and go, holy crap, what a big dog. What a big wolf.
Yeah, those.
But if you see a overly large humanoid footprint
with claws on the end of it.
Well, no, I'm talking about, like, say you see a Bigfoot footprint.
Yeah.
You see that, that's going to strike you as, holy crap, a Bigfoot. You see a really big canine print. Normal people are going to see that and say, wow, what a big dog or big wolf. You see an overly large humanoid print in the woods. First thing that happens is Bigfoot. So you might lose some of that evidence or some of the, the viewing of that evidence from that.
Well, so we found overly large canine prints that were on the extreme end of what you would expect a domesticated dog to have. We found a single print. If you guys remember the LBL video where the tornado was coming in, we found a single footprint, like a more humanoid type footprint, but it had like claws at the end of it. It's crazy. And then we've gotten that thermal image, and then there's been some other people with some possible thermal images. And then there's, a lot of the photos that come out are either the Dogman equivalent of blob squatches, or they're eventually debunked and
as AI
really debunked, really debunked. Like people literally, and here's debunking.
Are you seeing that one that's going around right now where it's I guess it's in the Southwest because you have rock formations, but I think those are giant rock formations. And then it's a generated picture of what looks to be a Doberman sort of shape.
If somebody just presents something with no context nowadays, I just don't pay any attention to it, no matter how good it looks, man, because I'm just going to assume that it is I'm going to assume it's AI generated. You know what I'm saying? And it's gotten to the point now where I'm barely getting on Facebook anymore, even to check messages, because I just get bombarded with these like Bigfoot aggregator like pages. Yeah. And it's just AI written.
Is it an aggregator or an aggravator?
It's both. Hey-o. With just AI written copy, with text, and then an AI generated thing. And I'm just going, come on, man. This is why people don't take us seriously. We don't take ourselves seriously.
There's a debate in the chat going on my Indian name.
Oh, good God Almighty!
Runs down Skillies. Bruce Beaver says, "She who runs with expensive equipment."
She who steps in poo.
Steps in scat.
Steps in. Is that already on there? Walter's got a good one here. East Texas was the historical home to Caddo-speaking mound building tribes, which might explain the high cryptid activity.
Interesting.
There's something to one of the more active areas we've been at is there's an old homestead there, but it was also built on the remnants of a Cherokee village. Yeah. And there are some Native American earthworks through there. And it is extremely active in multiple types of activity, it appears. So we have found large prints there as well. Do you remember this? Yeah, we have found large prints. We had a witness to that too. What's also interesting about that place is it was a village. It was also, it was a homestead, but that homestead was a stopover point between two destinations where travelers would stop over for the night. It was a liminal space in that as well. That it was a place where people stopped going from one destination to another. Yeah. Did you hear me at all? I did. One destination. Did you hear me? Yes, it was a liminal destination. Stingray asked if we'd seen the movie Companion. I have not. Okay. I just thought that was a great one. It is a great thing, and it might very well be that. So, Scatwalker. That's a good one. I like that one. Here's the other. This is a good one. Silly question, but if Dogman is a hybrid, what type of dog is it? If reports don't look like much of any breed, I know. What I saw on thermal, if it was a Dogman, the ears were so outsized, man. That's why I'm thinking
everything. I think it's mostly described sort of German Shepherd, like wolf-like.
Yeah, but even then, it's very exaggerated features, and it's just, I don't know, man. I just don't
like. Rarely do you see like Chihuahua Man. You know,
I don't see where if here's my two things that I'll allow. It doesn't exist at all. What we caught on thermal and what other people have caught on thermal was something else. People with credible sounding reports are either crazy or making them up.
Yeah.
Or it's supernatural.
Yeah.
There's no, to me, it's inconceivable that there is a breeding population out there.
Right.
Okay. Given the nature of the encounters, where they're encountered at, and the fact that there's so little physical evidence of it, it is
even the physical characteristics.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
you can't say that this is something that it has evolved over time. I remember that Aaron, he kind of speculated on that when he first got involved in the Dogman topic. Started first, Aaron Deese from Small Town Monsters. He first kind of speculated that this could be some sort of evolutionary fluke. That
he
occurred.
thought that it was a coy dogs that had learned to evolve to stand on hind legs for short periods of time to aid in like looking for prey or humans that would predate upon them. And after he got involved in it too, it's just like most people, you start to go, it's something a lot weirder. This isn't natural. It's not, or maybe it's natural, but it's just not how we view nature.
Yeah.
Maybe it's purely natural. Maybe it's been here all along. Maybe it's been here longer than we've been here. Maybe it belongs here more than we do. Maybe we're
Rick Skinner says Anubis ears, those large, oversized ears are often descriptive.
We're more transient and it's more permanent. And that when humanity has gone away, these things will still be lurching around, but then everywhere will be a liminal spot. Dead cities.
That's actually if you look at the timeline from a real zoomed out.
That'd be a damn good script for a movie.
That's a damn
like a post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max meets Dog Soldiers.
Isn't that what the Frank Grillo movie is? It's like
no.
There's been a breakdown in society.
No, because society's still there. I'm talking about people like dressed in leather with like spikes, souped up vehicles, sawed off shotguns. But what's happened is that there's more liminal places now.
Yeah.
There's more like dead zones now.
Okay.
And these things can come across freely, but now they're manifesting. But one child holds the secret to stopping it all, and you've got to get them from Memphis to LA.
Yeah.
In 1 month.
We don't need another dog, man.
Anyway.
Enzo Surreal says the person I know with the Dogman story said it had a short snout like a boxer. And this also goes back to these hyena traits and these hyena dogmen that are described. They're often described as these large-eared German Shepherd type, but then you hear about this hyena type. Mm-hmm. So could these be two different entities? Could this be some sort of confusion, misidentification? We don't know. But you do hear kind of multiple types. And I hate to do that. Type 1, type 2, type 3,
type 4. But there could be multiple different things going on here that share a passing resemblance. You know what I'm saying?
It could be like Dogman and Hyena Boy.
Dogman and Hyena Boy. Good Lord. Anyway. This chat's out of control.
Intense Tornado says we are the batteries that power the supernatural realm. To the scenery there.
All right. Let me see if I can try to catch up with this chat. We're just going to kind of see what
Carino Phillips, member for 6 months. Thank you, Carino. Hello, everyone. Love you guys.
Thank you. And Brad Cole's a new member. Thank you, Brad, for joining this. We are completely community supported and funded.
That we are.
We've avoided Temu advertisements and that entanglement. And
what other things? Mattress sales.
Yeah. We get those, we've got an exciting opportunity for you. William Kennedy, to know the Dogman, you must become the Dogman. So
time to bark at the moon, Joseph.
All right, let's see what else we got here. We're going to be wrapping it up here shortly. So we're getting into the time of year because I've always stood on, if you look at just collected and organized and categorized reports, well, the warmer months are busier. I don't think that's the case at all. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think that's the case at all. It's very unpleasant hiking through the woods at night when it's like below freezing. You know what I'm saying? But that's when we've gotten some of our craziest stuff. I think that, our ancestors knew this. Our ancestors knew that the other comes alive in like the colder months. You know what I'm saying? When the sun's like dimmer, when just the very environment's, quicker to kill you. I think that we're getting into the busy season for us.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We're
this
getting into the busy season for
It's
us.
a liminal time.
Yep. And that whole part of the year is where we're going to be at. And, let's see what else we got.
I was looking here. I was just looking for something. Something popped up.
I'm just at the Indian names now. My God, what are you people doing in this chat?
I was on Facebook because I was posting about this show actually. And you know how it pops up little memories, stuff that you posted about 2 years ago. We had just gotten back from the URIs and I posted some photos from Town Creek Indian Mound.
Okay.
And it had
Town Creek Indian Mound's up near the Uwaris. So do you have that?
No. Well, let me finish my story. So I had posted photos from that and it came up in my memories. One photo on there that was pretty interesting is of a recreation of a drawing inside the ceremonial hut that is atop the mound. At this place, Town Creek Indian Mound, they have a museum and then they have a recreation of a ceremonial hut atop the mound. You go in there and you can tell where like the fire was and everything like that. It's a recreated thing. Right when you walk in the door, there are humanoid depictions of a deer-headed person and then a wolf-headed person engaged in some battle. I'll see if I can find the photo right now because I'm sure somebody has it. I lost it on my Facebook, but I just thought that was kind of interesting that was 2 years ago today, and it kind of lines up with all this stuff where we have Uwari and then this discussion on liminal spaces such as the mounds, and then we have the Dogman discussion. So it seems like it's all kind of lining up all at once.
Everybody's going crazy over my movie idea. So.
Oh Jesus, okay.
Oh Jesus, okay. So anyway, we're gonna be wrapping up here in a minute. We are from this weekend on, we're in like overdrive until
maximum overdrive.
Summer hits next year. So we are going to be in overdrive. We are going to be hitting it hard. So we are going to be.
What are you saying there, Joe?
Well, I'm trying to think, formulate my thoughts here.
Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Share that. This is up in the dead air.
Uwaris, what are you doing? Why are you saying it's dead air? I'm showing it right now. Chill.
Dead air. Check that out, man. That is a dog-headed creature fighting an antlered.
Yeah.
MK talked about this once before. He's got his money on the deer-headed thing with the seashells.
I gotta tell you though, I think the dog-headed person looks kind of effeminate. I think it might be this little feature here, this little step up here, just a little done.
Looks effeminate?
Yeah, looks.
You're talking about it's got a dump truck on it. Is that what you're saying? So
there's a little bit of a dump truck.
A little bit of a dump truck on it.
It just seems like very effeminate. It seems like it's I don't know. Maybe it's just. Although I love James Barker's comment on this Sunday live Wendigo versus Dogman. You paid for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
I wouldn't mess with someone handling seashells so confidently. So, we're getting ready to hit it hard, y'all. Make sure your notifications are on. There might be a live stream from the field this weekend if we can get a damn view of the sky. We haven't started losing leaves here yet, but we're going to try to. We need to kind of get back into the rhythm and get the equipment going, and we haven't done a live stream from the field for a while, so we might try to do one from there. Nothing might happen. Who knows? You can never tell, but we're going to be doing that. Keep your eyes peeled, just like they mentioned earlier about a possible animal attack on a poor woman. Keep your eyes peeled for good Dogman sighting, strange animal attacks, strange attacks on animals.
And if you come across any of those, email us for sure. Because we want to know what's going on. We want to put our finger on the pulse of the Dogman.
Yeah, we want to really kind of try to. I feel that this topic is becoming again just the purview of just storytellers, and we're just becoming. It's just becoming a storytelling. The realness of the phenomenon is fading for a lot of people. It's just becoming another interesting story.
So let's put some meat on the bone.
Let's put some meat on the damn bone, man. So let's put some meat on that bone. Anyway, we're wrapping it up. You'll probably see us this weekend. I'm still going to try to, if there's any interest, try to do a very casual version of our presentation on Sasquatch and the Southern Appalachians and the cultural tie-ins, the factor of the geography through here and the landscape and the environment and how that might affect it and just all that stuff. We had to abbreviate it at both conferences we did because of time constraints, but I might try to do one here just to kind of lay it all out for everybody. Just if nothing else, it's interesting to see kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
As far as the phenomenon goes.
And where our heads are at, some things that we've worked through, things that we've kind of come up with, some ideas that we've actually managed to organize through the process of doing this investigative work.
Yeah. So, all right. And we are going to wrap it up, folks, and we're going to go eat. Jesse, take us out. Why don't you?
I'll take you out.
I'll take
you out all night long. All right, guys. Thank you. As usual. Thank you for joining us for another Hellbent Live, the special Tuesday edition. We love you guys so much. We appreciate you guys joining us for this meandering, crazy conversation, often a stream of consciousness, but that's how we kind of come up with ideas and how we kind of glimpse behind the veil and figure these things out and come up with the ideas. So thank you for joining us for that. Thank you for everybody who contributed to the conversation.
Thank you for everybody that contributed with super chats. Thank you.
With super chats, with good ideas, with funny stuff. We always appreciate funny stuff as well. But thank you guys. You guys be careful out there. And if you do hear about some strange attacks, strange encounters in terms of Dogman or animal attacks or anything like that, make sure you email us. The email is easy. It's hellbentholler@gmail.com. Send us a line, drop us a line, and we'll get back to you.
I've got some people, I want to end with this. I've got some people that were wanting to send us some stuff to kind of help with the investigations and all that. This is important. We had to cancel our P.O. box a while ago because I guess we're in like a test region to see if they can like basically
raise prices,
double prices on P.O. boxes to see if people will still pay them. Well, we can't afford that. We're not paying that. So we don't have a P.O. box. We got hit by porch pirates, which kind of delayed my long duration audio recorder project. We had a place where we could get packages delivered to that is unavailable to us for a while. Some of you guys want to do stuff to help. And if you don't want to, that's cool. Don't worry about it. This ain't a begging for anything at all. It's just that I've got a mailbox filled with people asking how to send us stuff right now. And we don't really want to take the chance. We're getting hit hard with porch pirates still in this, the whole city basically. But what I might do is people have suggested in the past, and we just didn't really want to do it because we didn't want to come across like we're begging for anything. But we might set up like an Amazon wish list thing for stuff, consumables that we use, batteries, SD cards,
jelly beans,
and pickle flavored jelly beans, infrared, lights, stuff like that. And if anybody is wanting to do something cool for the channel or for the project, we can get that shipped to an Amazon locker.
Yep.
And we don't have to worry about it getting stolen off our porch.
Yep.
So if there's, I really appreciate everybody's generosity. A lot of you guys are channel members and you're already going above and beyond. A lot of you guys do super chats here, but if you want to do something like that, I can't give you a good address right now. Okay. That's dried up. We can't take advantage of that.
But we'll let you know if we decide to move forward with an Amazon thing.
Yeah. If there's any interest in that, we can do that. If anybody's wanting to do something like that, because at least we know we can get it safely, so there you go.
And it'll at least be stuff that we will definitely use and we definitely need for the project.
Dead in yard hunt. Dang, I was going to send you gold bars. So they just get stolen off our porch. So you just making some porch pirate wealthy. So, But there is stuff that we buy on a regular basis and things that come up. And it's mostly just, like I said, SD
and it would be stuff that we know we will use for
camera
sure.
batteries, stuff like that. So, you know, if anybody's interested in doing that, and if not, I ain't really worried about it. We thought about doing it in the past and we shot the idea down because we didn't want to, again,
right.
But a lot of people are contacting us right now wanting to send us stuff. And I can't tell you where to send it to. We don't have a safe location for it right now. Anyway.
Mad Max out there. All right, guys. With that being said, anything else?
I'm done. I'm going to go eat. I'll see y'all later.
It's chicken pot pie night, everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
Night check real quick. Somebody asked for a night check.
Yeah. Well,
we're leading out with this.
It's pretty sweet.
This is my new Persian fighter. Very inexpensive. I actually sold a more expensive knife online to throw in towards the camera, and I used a little bit of money left over for this one. That's
pretty cool.
In 690 steel, which is like an upgraded D2. It's like very corrosion resistant. Let me see if I can get it up here where it's lit well, because it's black as hell. But it is, that's probably going to get attached to my chest rig under my arm for it. And you might see that in a video here.
And I've got a Elvia. I remember like some Elvias, little teeny little Elvia. Look at that in my hand. My hand looks big with that little Elvia. That's one of the best little concealed carry, deadly little boys that you got there.
This is from our buddy Denim Devil, and this is a PCAL design, which basically means the edge is on the back, as you can tell. And this is to, you know, a lot of times knives, the edges are on the front if it's not double-edged, and you attack by going forward. This is meant to work like a cat's claw or a bear's claw, in and back, which is how nature does it. So interesting little blade there.
Nature's design. Nature's wins design. Every time. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We will cut you guys out. It is chicken pot pie time. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Good night, Hellbenders.